This is our state of the community. We have Mason County, we have City of Shelton, we have Port of Shelton. Here to tell us a little bit about what they've done in the past year, some of the things that we may see on the horizon, and share with us what to look forward to in the upcoming time. The first person that we'll have is Terri Jeffries. Terri is the chair of the Board of Commissioners this year. She represents the county on 11 regional intergovernmental boards, including Thurston Mason Behavioral Health Organization, MACECOM, Thurston Mason Lewis Area Agency on Aging, and a number of others. Terri is the former director of the chamber, and she actually hired me 7 years ago, but she's counting. She's the former director. She also has worked in tax and fiscal arenas, focusing on land use and local governance policies for the Washington Realtors. Terri is born in Shelton and graduated from Seattle Pratt High School. She has a bachelor's degree in public policy from Evergreen. And her family has lived in Mason County for 19 years, both of her children growing up here, and now the third generation is here as well. So, Terri Jeffries.
Thank you, and thank you to the Shelton Chamber of Commerce for making this opportunity available to elected officials. It's really hard to get in front of these people, and so when you're actually invited, it's very, very nice. And I would say that the hiring of Heidi attention to the chamber was a great hire. Wouldn't you? Phenomenal things for the chamber, and thank you so much for your love and passion for this community. It's amazing. So in 2016, I wanted to start off, first of all, talk about budget. This year, we adopted what we call two bottom line budget, one for wages and one for operations, and that was done both at the comprehensive total county level as well as within each of the departments. This was done to better control spending. In your personnel budgets is the easiest place to find savings and to control that spending, especially if you have unfilled positions. And so when we had situations that we've seen in the past where people would have, for some of the departments would have unfilled wages, they would take that money and use it for unbudgeted expenditures. If you cannot control spending when you're constantly allowing spending on unbudgeted things. There are emergencies that come up, etc. Our intention of doing this not only in controlling spending was to help take those savings in personnel and put them into two new reserve funds. One is a capital reserve fund. There are a tremendous number of county facilities that need a lot of work. We need new courtroom space. We need some HVAC, 9 new HVACs. Those are not cheap. The other fund is what we like to call Roads for Economic Development Fund. And this is to put some money aside in reserve monies to build roads that would help develop or help encourage more development. Most specifically, we have development bypass coming here down the line. We need connector roads into areas of the developer urban growth area that are zoned for residential development. No access to those right now, and so we need some roads to be built, and we will be encouraging and working really hard with the Department of Transportation to do the design work for around where those connector roads could be. This is admittedly the largest budget that the county's seen, but it does follow. Last year we had a 14% increase in sales tax revenues, and I don't have a percentage, but we did see an increase in property tax collections as well. And so we were more conservative this year. We feel like it's peaked to some extent on real estate, on sales tax, but it is very healthy budget with an $8 million balance, or what we call it, ending fund balance, for about $4 million of which is not statutory, but recommended to be held aside for operation reserves. This year we did merge. We did some consolidation of two different departments, our community development and planning and building department with our public health department and environmental health permitting and planning. This was done specifically to increase our customer service approach to the services that we provide directly, that's under the Commission's control, to the public. and to do some process improvements in our permitting processes. Identified that there's some key needs there, and we needed some leadership in both of these departments to be able to effectuate and implement process improvements. And we went out for a statewide search and have hired our new director of our Community Services Department, Dave Wyndham. He comes to us from the Northeast Washington Tri-County Public Health District. That's Terri, Prairie, and Stevens County. Dave comes to us, he'll start on May 26th. Dave comes to us with 20 years of business experience in the distributing. He owned a distributing company. He's also a master sergeant in the U.S. Army Reserves, and then was trained in public health and mostly in environmental health. And so he's very familiar with permitting processes, the wants and needs of the business community, as well as the public health field in general. He was, we'll talk about this a little bit later, but there's a lot going on, especially in the integration of mental health services, and he's been involved in that since the changes happened statutorily at the state and federal level. We're so excited to welcome Dave, and all three commissioners are going to spend a lot of time with him, introducing him around to the community and the key members in the community. We are very excited about the county being selected to and under contract negotiations with the State Department of Commerce for a micro enterprise assistance grant. This would provide training for low-income individuals that are interested in becoming entrepreneurs and starting their own business. And this training, upon graduation, makes you eligible for startup loans of up to $25,000. These loans would be a revolving loan fund with the intention that this fund would be able to grow and consistently available to folks. If you're familiar with the revolving loan funds at the state level, they're very key in keeping these monies available and active within the community. This is a partnership with the organization Enterprise for Equity, who does small business training and business plan development training with low-income individuals. They'll bring their services here, as well as the Washington State University has a tremendous amount of technical assistance and expertise to be able to also provide training there. And then our Economic Development Council here in Mason County will do a lot of the outreach and help bring in folks. This will be, I think, a really great opportunity for us to partner or to implement some of the industry roundtable strategies that we're going to see coming out of the Economic Development Council. I think there's tremendous opportunities in our aquaculture industry, as well as our tourism industry and many others, for startup businesses and entrepreneurship. And so hopefully we can marry all of these strategies and opportunities together through a funded program and training. Our Mason County, back in, I believe it was 2012, adopted the 1% sales tax for mental health and substance abuse services. We had been using this tax for 2 different contracted work for intensive case management for veterans and then homeless folks, in what we call the vulnerable populations. This has been tremendously successful. If you think about the thought that if somebody has mental health issues and disorders, their life is basically in chaos. And when the group that had made recommendations on how to use the monies, they said, you know, with the expansion of Medicaid and parity laws at the federal level regarding the availability of treatment services, we don't need to really spend this money to provide the services. What we need is to help these people in chaos be able to access the services. If you can imagine, you know, being in an anxiety state or whatever your psychosis state, and then trying to make your appointments to see whoever and get your assessments, etc., that's almost too much to ask somebody. This intensive case management is going to be tremendous also to help these folks access housing and other services. We have great contractors, and we hope to eventually bring this service into the jails and be able to have people hooked up with the type of treatment services they need when they leave the jail. I'll never forget somebody once saying, sometimes when folks are incarcerated due to issues around substance abuse and or mental health issues, especially substance abuse, when they come out of the jail, who's there to meet them? Probably their dealer. If you have a case manager here, you have a lot better opportunity for success. We're also using this money to have developed specialty courts, one called the Family Recovery Court. And what this is that when children are taken from homes because of substance abuse issues in the home, this is an opportunity to get those parents involved into treatment, into a long-term treatment program and reunite them with their children. It's just heartwarming when you see the graduations. I think this is probably one of the better programs we've developed here. And we have also developed a veterans court this year. I think we took our first few veterans into the court in August, and we anticipate that growing. And then our courts and our therapeutic courts department are working on developing a mental health court to work with folks that have been arrested on issues that are basically was due to their mental health issues, and then to take our very successful drug court, adult drug felony drug court program, and create a program for youth in the drug court. When it was first adopted, this tax was put on a 5-year temporary status to be expired or to look back at. And so that expiration is coming in November. And we are having a hearing on May 24th to consider the reauthorization of this tax. And if you have any kind of thoughts around that, please come to our hearing and give us your thoughts. There is in work right now a 5-year plan of what will we do with these monies should it be reauthorized. Frankly, the amount of money we get is fairly low, and these current services are taking everything that it has. We'd like to see these things continue on. If we get a bump in sales tax, then we can start growing some programs in this particular field. But related to that is a new service that's coming to our law enforcement and our ER and first responders. And we'll be going out for a request for proposals here pretty soon for a mobile crisis response team in the inclusion house. Frequently, our law enforcement run across situations where they're getting a call on a public nuisance or something where the issue is basically this person has been destabilized, either from a mental health disorder or substance abuse disorder. And this is not really something that law enforcement has the tools, the equipment to be able to deal with. There's a story that I like to tell about a woman who basically was destabilized from her mental health disorder, had gotten, she had gone into a business, made some nuisance of herself. The police were called. She hadn't really broken the law. They dealt with her, they tried to get her calmed down and whatnot, but there wasn't anything she could do with her, and then left. Got another call. She had gone into another business, and then finally, after 6 hours, she had broken the law, and it's like, okay, now we can do something for this woman, and what, take her to jail. And our jails are not mental health institutions, and there was no other option for the law enforcement, so they and the hospital ER came to the county and says, can you help us come up with a solution? We had a great team of people working on this, and found that there were some dollars from the state available to be able to contract out for this mobile response team. So when law enforcement, first responders, or even the ER, somebody shows up at the ER, get the call regarding something that basically just needs treatment services, they'll be able to access a mental health professional, be able to do street side assessment. We also will be able to we'll be going into hopefully negotiations soon for a small little home, take them to for a short stay, stabilize them, hooked up with these case management services and get them into treatment and out of the inappropriate use in our jails and our ER. Very excited about this and very thankful for all the partnerships that help bring this to fruition. And these monies actually came to us through the Thurston Behavioral Health Organization. In 2014, the state legislature passed a law called the Healthier Washington's Initiative. And what they wanted to strive to do is to integrate chemical dependency treatment programs and monies with mental health treatment, because so often the two go hand in hand. And up to this point, mental health treatment was provided by the separate entity over here, and then the state contracted out for the substance abuse services. This law says let's integrate those, and then further out in 2020, we'll bring in physical health services. But what the law says is that there shall be regional organizations called behavioral health organizations who will contract and manage the access to services for Medicaid funded services. And then there's flexible money for not necessarily Medicaid funding. Mason County have previously had our mental health services directly contracted and processed by what's called the Regional Support Network that we partnered with Thurston County. But the former county commissioners had set that up so that all the governance and all the operation and all the oversight over the programming was done strictly by the Thurston County Board of Commissioners. When this behavioral health organization was developed, we made sure in the language of the organizing documentation that Mason County would have governance authority on this board, and that all of the MOU language talked very strongly about parity and access to services. So many of these services that were contracted for are provided in Thurston County, making it very difficult to get access to services here in Mason County. And we are seeing just a short look at this mobile response team, and we'll be seeing further down the line a lot more parity in access. And I'm at the table representing you to make sure that we get that parity here in Mason County. And then finally, the Washington State Legislature in 2014 did appropriate monies for the Simmons Road project. If you're not familiar with it, this is an alternative to entering onto Highway 101 from Taylortown, which is a very, very dangerous intersection there. And so this is an alternate route that would have access from Lynch Road down to the Camilche area, where the Squaxin tribe have their second KTP. And and then people can access the highway via the on-ramp and off-ramp at Camilche. There was $5 million appropriated for this project. And that is probably not enough. And I think we might be able to cover it with our state budget, or with our county budget, but the new laws around it, some of the reforms in the Department of Transportation are requesting that there be something called design review, practical design. So though there's been a lot of design and engineering around what this route should look like, the Department of Transportation will review that and see if there's a better low-cost measure to do that. And they'll be doing that review here in the next few months. And barring any changes, it should go to construction in 2018. But should there be some changes requested from the Department of Transportation, then we'll probably look at 2019 for the beginning of the construction. But I think that this will help create mobility as well. If anybody's familiar with how difficult it is for Taylor shellfish to put trucks out on the road in that area, that is just a small example of how hard it is for the freight to get out there on the one-on-one and onto the markets. So we're very, very thankful for the legislation for acknowledging that this is a very difficult problem for the city county before they have this built. This will be a county road. It will not be a state road, but the state saw their obligation because of the safety hazard. And then finally, this is not a county commission initiative. This is an initiative that I'm personally taking on, and I'm working on a shellfish initiative to make sure we are going to grow our aquaculture industry here in Mason County. It'll be organization partnerships working on this. I'm talking to folks throughout the community and at the state level about what part can we do to not only protect shellfish, but to the aquaculture industry, but to grow it. And of course, the issues that are most important are water quality. I think this is the most incredible industry in that clean water is economic development. Very few times do you get those two marrying each other. There are huge issues in the permitting side of things, and we want to push back in the areas that are having trouble. and then I'll be able to promote more entrepreneurship on value-added product and tourism. And I see that I'm getting cut off, so thank you very much.
Next, I'm excited to introduce Dick Taylor. Dick has spent 34 years in the U.S. Navy. He retired as a commander. After retiring, he attended University of Washington, go Dogs, the BA in Liberal Studies, International Studies, and then in 2007 was awarded a Master of Business Administration with a concentration in Operations Management from the Intercontinental University. He's also worked as a real estate agent. He has been the chamber director, and he also has been an executive director of a not-for-profit firm providing services to developmentally disabled adults. Now he is serving 6 years as City of Shelton. Well, he did serve 6 years as City of Shelton's Commissioner of Finance, and is now most currently a commissioner at the Port of Shelton. Thank you.
Thanks, Heidi. Yeah, it's kind of fun being on this side of the platform rather than being the executive director and setting it all up and stuff. But you've done a wonderful job, and I know the problems that you go through to do that, and I really appreciate it. We all appreciate it. Well, let's see. How do you make it go forward?
To the right.
To the right. Okay, here we go. Port of Shelton has 3 commissioners. Sue Patterson in position 1, I'm in position 2, and Christy Buck is in position 3. We don't have districts like you have in the county. They're positions, and so we're elected district-wide. There are 5 ports in the Mason County: DeWatto, Woodsport, Allen, Grapeview, and Shelton. So the Port of Shelton is about 1/3 of Mason County. That's what we come. We have a budget of about $2.6 million every year. We have 3 properties, Johns Prairie being the first. Johns Prairie is about 400 acres, and we have 10 businesses out there. We're expanding as we speak. Simpson, of course, sold all their properties off to SPI, and SPI has moved out of the old Simpson properties up there, and we're refurbishing them. One of the buildings we moved Lynchburg Farms into. He went from 45,000 square feet on Sanderson Field out to about 90,000 square feet on Johns Prairie, and he's growing as we speak. We have another company that's looking at expanding into the old planer mill portion of the project up there, and there'll be some news on that as we progress. But we're getting close to getting another customer in there. We have some cannabis grows that go on at Johns Prairie. Of course, we have some additional woods product firms out there that have been there for years and will continue to work there. Our next property is the marina. The marina has about 100 slips plus guest storage, 60 boat houses, and 10 flopsies. Commissioner Jeffries talks about the agriculture industry in Mason County. We've already started down at Oakland Bay Marina. We have 3 flopsies, which are floating upward, upwelling. Anyway, they grow oyster seeds. They take little tiny oyster seeds that are just minuscule and grow them down there. There are 10 sites on the marina, or in the marina, that they do that, and then you grow them to be large enough to take out and plant in the oyster bed. So they're essentially the second step in the growing of oyster seeds, and we're pioneering that in our area right now. We're limited to 10 right now, but we have in the plans to put in a commercial dock, which will happen a couple of years probably, depending on several things, but which will be able to expand that. The marina is a recreational marina. It's not a commercial marina. So that's the big, we got permission for these 10 flopsies to go in, but we're not going to get any more in that marina space per se. when we put the new dock in, then we'll have space for that. The big thing for the marina project, as far as I'm concerned, is the restoration project. Here's the marina, right here. This is Goldsboro Creek. This is all the old Simpson property here. Simpson still owns this waterfront area, the water area. So we were working with the Squaxin Tribe, Simpson, Salmon Advancement Group, and Mason County Conservation District, and the Port of Shelton are involved in a restoration project of this area. And what the project aims to do is to remove all this kind of stuff that's there and restore that shoreline back to a natural shoreline. It won't be what it was 100 years ago because we could never get it to that, but it will be a reconstructed shoreline with natural grasses and enhanced salmon habitat for the salmon coming out on the way out to sea from being earthed up Goldsboro Creek and Shelton Creek, and a place for them to rest as they go back in to go back and spawn. But this whole project will change lower Oakland Bay. And we don't intend to, of course, over the years, there's been contamination down here just by the nature of the businesses that have been there. And there's no way that we can, well, we could. The traditional way of getting rid of that is dredge it all out and take it somewhere else. If we did that, it would destroy all of southern Oakland Bay down here because it would release contaminants for years, or for a period of time until they all settled out again and got carried away. But we intend to encapsulate, and that's the plan, is to encapsulate this whole area here with rock, sand, and gravel to make it a more natural habitat there for these creatures. Also in the project, we're looking at setting up a trail, and we've talked about this for years with the city and Mason Transit, a trail from the marina area down past here underneath the railroad bridge and up into past Shelton, the old David Shelton Pear Orchard project. That's been going on since the talks about it have been going on. The work on the city commission and the comment is it's still working, but it looks like we're going, and that we're part of it. As you see it in the paper, there's some interest down here where the old roundhouse is to be in the center for historical site here in Shelton, and we're talking. People are talking about incorporating a trail that comes around and comes back down in that area, so that people can come into the marina and walk downtown, come over here for a site. One of our other properties is Eagle Point. Now, Eagle Point is not developable for us. And our plan is to surplus that property and transfer it to the city of Shelton's park. And we include a trail system from here all the way around, up around First Street, or not First Street, but yeah, probably around First Street, whatever, and back around to the marina and this area. So there's a big expansion going on, several $1 million project. We've already taken, what is it, 2.65 million, 2.4? 2.5. Yeah, anyway, the neighborhood of $2.5 million, we already have in hand to work on that project. So we're excited about that. We have Sanderson Field. You're all familiar with Sanderson Field. Here's the airport, main airport, or the airstrip here. This is the closed runway here. State Patrol Academy, which is our next door neighbor. This is the area, the industrial area at Sanderson Field. Our offices are up here, and then the northern industrial park here. Out on at Sanderson Field, we have 22 businesses there. It's about 1,000 acres, or 100 acres. 1,000 acres. Yeah, the industrial area provides jobs for 22 businesses on Sanderson Field. The marina has no businesses other than the small 10 flexi. Prairie has 10. So this is the industrial area up here. We have one major cannabis grower there. Used to be heavy machine tooling. It's now they still do heavy machinery work out there in welding at TrueFab. And they are the follow-ons to aerospace, certified aerospace. They took over that space years ago. Went to Olympic Tool, and then Tool morphed into certified, or into TrueFab. And they're building things. They built. If you've seen any of the pictures of SEAL teams jumping out of airplanes with rubber boats on kind of a sled-like thing, they mounted to, they're all built right here in Shelton. These guys have the contract for it. They build those sleds that are used continuously by the U.S. Navy. Also at Sanderson Field, we have some adventuresome things going on, some fun things. We had the blimp. The blimp came here because of the golf tournament at Chicken Bay. Yeah, the golf tournament was there, and they needed a place to moor the blimp that was away from the hullabaloo of the golf tournament. So they came down here, and it provided a lot of fun for people around here to watch it come in and out and be here. Then we have the jet car. American Eagle, North American Eagle is what it's called. It is an old F-105 or 104 fighter jet without wings. The wings are gone. The rest of it is still much the same as the airplane. They put wheels on it. You can see them here and here. There's one up in the bow. And what it is that Ed Shadle, the owner and the manager of it, is trying to set the world land speed record. He already has it with this vehicle for the woman's speed record. And now they're working for the men. And they bring it out to Sanderson Field to test the engine. They tie it down, the big chains here, on the thing, and chain it so it won't go anywhere, and they test the engine. If you were around last Saturday, you heard it. It is noisy, but it does, they've been here probably five or six times over the past few years. And he's pushing to get his speed record at the end of this year. So they may be out one more time. I'm not sure. Here's some of the pictures of it. He's got the engine turned on and blowing the after. They turn on the afterburner when they're out there. I mean, the thing is hard. And to close out, in 2009, we had 339 people employed on the port property with 23 businesses. At the end of 2015, this last year, we had 785 employees and 32 businesses employed at the port. We're pushing, and my goal is to get that to 1,000 employees and whatever number of businesses it takes to do that. But right now, we're full. We can't accept any more new businesses, but we're working to change them. We've got some buildings being refurbished that we can get people, we want to get people into. But the whole goal of the port is to create economic development and jobs for the community. And I think that we've shown that we can do that in the past, at least 5 years. The recovery has started. Thank you. A big announcement for Sanderson Field. You may have seen on the internet that drag racing is coming to Shelton. Yay! All right. On July 4th is what the ad said. That's not correct. It will not be here tonight. We are in the permitting process with the FAA, and we're looking for shooting for Labor Day weekend for nobody to come in and do drag racing.
So I think a lot of us have a predetermined vision of what drag racing is and what drag racing has been at Sanderson these are like Fast and the Furious kind of cars, like the cheap ones are $100,000. They're pretty amazing to watch. And I've had the chance to sit down and talk with the guys. They're really great. They're really passionate about their sport. I think this is going to be really fantastic for Mason County, so I'm looking forward to that. Last, but of course not least, we have the City of Shelton. Mayor Terri Cronce. He's a lifelong entrepreneur with a lengthy background in development. Over the past several decades, he served as chairperson for the Mason County EDC. He's been president of the Mason County chapter of Master Builders, president of the Building Industry Association of Washington, where he was named the 2004 Home Builder of the Year for the state. And prior to his election to the City Commission, he volunteered on 3 city task forces. In addition to his duties as mayor, he's a member of the Mason County Criminal Justice Working Team, MACECOM, legislative and governing boards, and he owns Case by Case Jewelers in downtown Shelton, which he operates with his lovely wife, Doris. Terri Cronce.
Thank you. I'm smart. I'm not going to All right. Well, first I thought exciting that Heidi held it the last because I could be like, I was, and then I found I got 2.5 minutes, so that took some of the air out of my balloon. But I will say a simple little joke just to cut the tension in the room. There was no tension, but you're supposed to tell a little joke once in a while. So I got up this morning, and Heidi told me, you got to start looking professional with these things and stuff. And I said, okay, monthly. And I said, okay. So I looked in my closet, and I saw that suit coat staring me in the eyes, and I thought about what Heidi said, and I looked out that window, and I saw that sunshine, and I said, well, forget it, I'm just going to put a shirt on. That's my joke. Okay. Yeah. No, I have no shirt on. It's just not going to happen overnight. All right, this is we're just going to go through these. I'm going to do this as quick as possible. I'm not going to tell any more jokes, so we're going to go be professional on this. Okay, the Sewer Funding Coalition. When I became mayor, about 4.5 years ago, one of our biggest projects was finishing Basin 3, and it was going to cost us like $7 million. And we'd done all the basins, and I just didn't want to borrow any money. So I met with a lot of state leaders and talking about what my options were. And Brad Owen was in a meeting with us one time, and he just said, "Well, you need to build a coalition." I went, "Oh, that's cool. Okay, let's build this coalition." So we started Shelton, the Sewer Funding Coalition. And we got 30 other cities statewide to come with us. And out of that, time does not allow me to tell you all of the intended and unintended consequences of starting that coalition. We are still active today. The city of Shelton has turned that over to the Association of Washington Cities in Everett here next month or so. We're going to be meeting and talking more, adding more cities to that. About 1/3 of Washington state cities are on the edge, very much on the edge of financial disaster because of the huge costs for sewer and sewage treatment plant infrastructure costs. And so we started that not just for us, but for a statewide initiative. So anyway, I'm going to be kind of scattered because I want to get through these pages. But anyway, that's the Sewer Funding Coalition. And this is the reason we started it, was the cost on Basin 3. Since that, we did that, I guess the estimated cost about $6.5 million. We initially started with a $1.3 million grant, and through my efforts and all of our efforts working on that coalition, we got it up to $3.4 million. We are in the loop to get another $2 million out of the next year's state capital budget, which will get us very close. My goal is that we get Basin 3 paid for without anything from the ratepayers. And we may make it, may not. Might have to put $1 million into it, but that's my goal. Okay, I'm talking a little fast, but I want to make sure that we don't lose anybody. Maybe it's just going to turn these pages. Okay, the Police Academy. Okay, the city of Shelton has 5 new reserve officers because of a police academy that we put in place, and whether we keep all those or not, basically we have 5 new reserve officers. New street lights, LED lights. Has anybody seen the new lights and seen that it looks a little bit nicer? Working in conjunction with Blvd 3. We're excited about that, and we're moving forward, and that's a good project. All right, Lake Boulevard, Pioneer Way, Rehab. Okay, if some of you know that area down there on the other side of town, we secured some grant dollars to fix the stretch of road, $4 million project. Should be complete by the end of summer. So, hooray for a lot of people. When I first got in, they said, what are you going to do to Lake Boulevard? What are you going to do to Lake Boulevard? What are you going to do? I said, we're going to do it. Just calm down. Let's get some grant money first and we'll do it. All right. Okay, this is the one we talked about earlier, basically the park and ride project. And we're working on it, and it's just a lot of stuff. But you can't, you know, all this, how does we get the property, and how do we do this, and what do we do on that? And it's gonna happen. Probably my exciting thing is that the idea that this little pear tree right here, probably not this one, but that they actually were able to graft the original pear tree that David Shelton planted, and those trees they have kept alive, and so that's kind of exciting, and I'm sure they're going to incorporate some of those back into that project. Okay. Okay, marijuana business. All right. You know, I was one of those commissioners, dug my heels in, no, I don't want it, and all sides, so I'm coming and going, and you know, and looking, and I said, okay, we need money. We need money. So I kind of came over to the other side, and I said, you know, we got to do this thing. And, you know, and so what we did is, congratulations to TJ's, right there, our first storm. And I guess what we've just done, we are now in the permitting process of 2 legal grow operations down in industrial property that the city owns. And I'm looking forward to getting some income out of that, and that's where I am. Sometimes I change my mind. Okay. Upper Mountain View Pressure Zone. Okay, the State Patrol, we built a line for the State Patrol in 2014. Current project is to establish a new pressure zone that will ensure adequate water supply. Phase 1 is almost complete, and we are talking about how Phase 2 will come together. I'm doing good, Heidi.
You can slow down a little bit if you like.
Really? You think I'm hyper? Well, I just don't want, you know, I've been in these meetings, and, you know, my other counterparts, they did such a great job that, you know, the county and the port, you know, that I didn't want to make them feel bad by being more intelligent or anything. That's the one thing, let me tell you one thing we all got in common. The recession's over. Okay, the recession's over. Yeah, thank you. I agree with you on that one. And we're getting excited because all of these things that are being done are just paving the way. We're just getting ready for business and people and things to happen. So, downtown plan. Okay, well, the Chamber and Green Diamond and the city came together. We got a consultant on downtown Shelton. We got some plans, and through all of our negotiations and different groups and talking and stuff, we're just about ready for a demonstration project. We're going to paint some new lines, some alternate parking and traffic plan. And if you are a naysayer on this, stop. Because this has been so thought. Yeah, just stop. Yeah, just say no, okay? Here's the deal. We have spent 14 million hours discussing this for like about 100 years, okay? We are ready to do something. Just get, if you don't like it, just smile and wait. Don't say I can't back in or I can't do this. So just wait, because we have researched this, we've worked on it. It's a cooperative effort, and so we're going to do it and enjoy it, and then we can always tweak things, but just get behind it. Did everybody get that one? So, okay. Shelton Hills, work in progress. It's a work in progress. And the biggest thing on Shelton Hills is that they did last year pass environmental studies and everything, and that negotiations on how, you know, the interchanges and some electricity and stuff like that. I told them just run an extension cord from this place, because I'm sure this is where they make it all. It'd be a big extension cord, I'm sure. You know, we got to get that thing moving. So next, all right. Hi, Lisa. Hi. We're friends, right? Woo! Yay. Lisa told me here, I don't know, a whole month ago or so, that literally she's happy with the city of Shelton, and we're happy with Sierra Pacific, and that they're like 3 months ahead of schedule. Can we give a little And I love lumber, and I love love the mill, but what I love is money. And we've got to have money, and so I want her to be very successful so we, the city, can get more money to do all these wonderful things. Okay, we're close, only about 5 more pages. Okay, here, this was my idea. And I based my entire political career on this. Okay, so if 3.5 years from now I run for office again or something, and you say, well, Gary, that didn't quite work out. I says, forget what I'm telling you now, okay? I mean, we in the city, I was a builder. And, you know, it's like, I quit because I just could not afford to build in Shelton. The fees were so high, and, you know, Dave, nobody's coming to complain to the business all the time. I just couldn't do it. So I just quit the business, got out of the business. I said, okay, so what do I do now? I'll run for mayor. Why not? So one of my goals was trying to make it cost effective to do business in the city of Shelton. And so this jump was a big jump. We cut development fees by 50 to 75%. And what happened? Permits are up. You know, and people are happy, and we're starting to do some stuff. And we'll, you know, I want 50 houses, but we were averaging 2 homes a year for 10 years. Folks, we had to change course, and I believe this is a good program. And so, you know, if you know friends or people that want to start a business, if you want to start a bank or something, even those fees. I mean, Sierra Pacific's getting some big hits on this one right here. And would they have done it without it? Yeah, but you know what? We can't base our whole career on just what they do or one business does. We got to be generic and reach across the board and do it. So, you know, somebody wants to come into Shelton and build right now. Now's the time. Let's move this community forward. Let's clean up our neighborhoods and start building. Sounds good, huh? Oh, almost done. Getting there. Okay, water, wastewater. Okay, well, because of all the hard work the past commission has done, all the wonderful wastewater treatment plant, the basins, we get awards and awards and awards. And here's one here for, it's an award for perfect performance. Now, I don't get much better than that. When they built that sewage treatment plant, they did a good job. And so this is a 2014 award, but we also got one in 2013, and we also got one here in 2015. The State Department of Ecology absolutely loves this because we stepped in and did what had to be done. Now I'm trying to pay for it, and it's not easy, but we're going to crawl out of this little financial hole we've accidentally fallen into. So, all right, new city financial software. All right, we got some new software. You know, this is important. If you're not up to speed on your software, you know, you just can't do the job, and it turns around pretty fast. So it looks like you can read all that stuff that says up there, but I was a big supporter in moving forward and giving what we had to get. Okay, this is called Cascadia Rising, and this is something that's coming around, and we are part of going to be setting up a, let me see if I can't read what it does. Oh, I didn't see it in here. It's kind of like one of those little mock things and stuff where they're going to have, you know, imitation scenarios of stuff that's going to happen. And so we're working with, I don't know if the county, I've been in the county working with us on this. And so anyway, it's going to, if you see, you know, broken down cars and buildings falling on people and all stuff, just walk around, don't call 911 if it's part of this, okay? Especially if it happens on that day. If it doesn't, you better call 911. Okay, we're getting there. I think I got one more page here.
Early next month when that happens.
Huh?
Early next month.
Early next month, so beware, don't freak out, just know that we're in a process. New website, improved ease of use, better organized, midsummer start. You know, you gotta look professional if you want to be professional, that's why I wanted to go today. And so if there's any questions, we missed all those question things, but I'd be happy to entertain any questions someone would have for me. We got 30 seconds. So, if anybody, any questions? Good, thank you very much.